It's no secret that masculinity has been in a weird place for a while, right? I mean, men are graduating less and less, we have incels, MGTOWs, depression and anxiety are on the rise, but perhaps worst of all, feminists are trying to put women in our superhero movies. So it's no surprise that over the past couple of years, there's been quite a few people that are trying to find a more healthy model for masculinity, but in doing so, I've actually never seen anyone bring up perhaps the peak of positive masculinity, and of course I'm talking about the village people. But you already knew this video is about them already, so let's just jump right into it and talk about why YMCA is about the death of God. The song starts off by introducing us to a young man who, serves as the audience surrogate. So through him, we can find out who the village people are trying to reach with this song. He feels down, needs to pick himself up, and feels lost. Now, I believe that this song is describing a more specific sadness than just feeling down, but for now, let's stick with that. We're quickly reassured that things don't need to stay this way. In fact, there's somewhere we can go, not just when we're low on cash or need a place to stay, but just if we want to have fun. Of course, I'm talking about the titular YMCA. We're then asked to imagine what we want to get out of life. Pick our wildest dream and we can have it, as long as we remember one thing. No man does it all on his own. And that's all fine and dandy, right? But I'll address the elephant in the room, okay? The song is also about casual gay sex. YMCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association, and the village people are... well, I'm sure I don't need to tell you they're gay. So the schoolyard rumor has always been that the song is basically telling you, look, if you want to hook up with dudes easily and discreetly, go to the YMCA. And, because of that, everyone has kind of just chalked up the song to being a silly little ditty about going to a Christian's organization facility and hooking up with dudes because, that's just something a silly little guy would do. But, if you really look at the song, if you really listen to the song and think about what it's telling you to do, it's actually pretty radical. It's about people who have been thrown aside by a system, in this case, gay people being thrown aside by religion, and retooling it for their own physical and mental needs. We're in an age where more and more of us are becoming a-religious. And, while I think our tossing aside of theology has led to many good things, something we've lost along the way has been that community that churches and religious groups often bring. YMCA is not just a song about casual hookups, but also a song about that loss of community that many gay people experienced in the 70s and still do today. In the second verse, Willis tells us that he was once in our shoes. He says, "I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tight." And I think many young men feel this way today. Not just those in the LGBT community. Most advice given to young men these days is something along the lines of, man up, focus on yourself, make something of yourself. And, I think it's pretty easy to actually draw this back to the works of Nietzsche on how to deal with the death of God, right? Rise above Christian morality, live on your own terms, and become the ultimate version of you. And I agree with Nietzsche and advice like his, that there is a ton of value in trying to become the best version of yourself. But, I think it's often told in a really isolating way. And ultimately, I have to agree with the village people when they say, no man does it all on his own. And in this way, I think what a lot of people my age are looking for is really their own YMCA. And look, I get that you might just think this is some overly analytical video essay about a pop song. And I get that, okay? But I actually came up with this video when I was reading some LGBT literature, and literature that just happens to be written by gay people, when I noticed a lot of similar themes in their works and what men seem to be struggling with today. As gay and straight men, I really don't think we're all that different and should be learning from each other. We should focus on building more healthy communities like the one depicted in YMCA. Well, excluding the part where we all hook up with each other. Unless, you guys want to.